Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, this was brought to my attention a couple of days ago. I just had a chance to look at this video last night, and everybody was talking about the controversy surrounding the new Cardi B video featuring Megan Thee Stallion. The video is called WAP, WAP, which stands for Warm Ass, you know what. And the video basically features, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion roaming the premises of a mansion with a not revolving, but a rotating water fountain with water coming out of the nipple area. Then, it has a hallway with a gigantic ass, and basically just a real raunchy song. Cardi B talking about you won't be able to pull out and park your truck in my driveway, just typical raunchy Cardi B stuff, just talking about sex and all that kind of stuff. But she's being criticized by, not only men but women, saying, hey, she's bad for the black community, and there's a question of whether you consider Cardi B black or not. That's another video for another day. But a lot of people saying that she's promoting raunchiness and promiscuous, sex among women, and particularly black women, and people are just on her. And I seen, this ad that was on Facebook that was sent to me where a lady just went off saying she was a black lady saying she don't have no talent and she wished Cardi B would go away. And she said it's because of artists like Cardi B why she lost her love for hip hop. I've talked about this several times. This is what they promote, these record labels, these white ran record labels. And yeah, I want to put emphasis on white. Because like I said, white people, like I said, everything that they touch, they destroy, they ruin it, they mess it up. They take the purity out of it. Just like they did with hip hop. They took the artistry out of hip hop, and then they made everything like what you would call mass production, like an assembly line, where they wanted every particular rapper to sound a certain way. And that's what happened with rap. It just went straight to hell because the wrong people owned the record labels, and you had these A&Rs that didn't know nothing about the hood or about black music sitting up here basically saying, hey, we want everybody to be like NWA. We want, all these female artists we want female versions of the 2 Live Crew and Too Short and all that kind of stuff. Too Short and the 2 Live Crew, they all had their place. But when I was growing up, it was variety. So everybody had their place, but now it is everybody have the same type of concept, and that's the problem. Cardi B, like I said, if you expecting to hear bars from Cardi B, well, that's that's basically your ignorance. For real. That's basically your ignorance. And being naive to think that you was going to hear bars from Cardi B. But that's what happened to rap music. Like I said, the powers that be, a lot of these Jewish Caucasians, and I'm going to be honest with you, some of these executives, these people were women, black women, and some were black men. Like I said, they helped destroy hip hop or make it what it is today, where you don't hear a lot of variety. They don't try to push like these talented artists that spit real bars and all that stuff. It's just very rare. They want everybody to talk about how much dope you sell and how many guns you own and whose ass you can whoop. And most of these rappers can't fight to save their life. And I'm just keeping it 100. Most of these rappers are some of the biggest punks you will ever see. Won't do shit unless they got armed security with them. That's the only time they tough. You heard Tupac when he made that song with the Outlaws called "You Ain't Shit Without Your Homeboys," but the hypocrisy with Cardi B, like I said, you had a lot of these women groups that slammed Nelly for the tip drill and Ludacris for the P-pop video, and people like Too Short and Two Live Crew saying that their songs were raunchy and all that kind of stuff and objectified women and treated them like sex objects. But, well, what do you have with Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and City Girls, who basically talk about how they, screw a dude out their money and all that kind of stuff, and how basically they use their body for sex, and how they basically say, well, if you don't got no money, you ain't getting none. So basically, they talked about how they prostitute themselves. So it's a long line of hypocrisy. But like I said, this is what happens when the wrong people take our music and our creativity and destroy it and ruin it. That's for real. These white people, that's what I'm saying. Everything that they touch, they destroy. They mess it up. They ruin it. And they played a big role and pivotal role of ruining hip hop. Wasn't nothing wrong with it being commercialized and being popular, but at the end of the day, they had certain type of content that they wanted to popularize. Anything that promoted what you would call negativity, talking about, selling drugs and killing other black people and pimping and all that kind of stuff. That's what they wanted. They didn't want lyricism. They didn't want that stuff. While they pushed the KRS-Ones to the background, the Public Enemies, the X-Clans to the background, they started pushing a lot of these, rappers to the front that talked about the more negative they was, the more they pushed them out there. And people don't want to hear the truth about this. This is just true. This is true. Like when I was growing up, we had variety. Like I said, everybody had their place. If you wanted to hear Too Short, you listened to Too Short because that's what you was feeling at that time. If you wanted to hear some conscious stuff, you would hear X Clan, and if you wanted to hear some bars, you wanted to hear some fun hip hop, you would put on Kid and Play, or Heavy D or somebody like that. If you wanted to hear lyricism, you would put on Nas. You would put on, Snoop. You would put, Snoop was a lyricist as well as a street rapper. So I'm just saying, we had variety back then, but we don't have that now. So this is what's happened to rap. Once again, who destroyed rap. It wasn't black people. We got it off the ground, but the wrong people got their hands on it and they destroyed it and fucked it up. Yes, I am blaming white people because they own most of the record labels. They owned the record labels. They were the CEOs, and then like I said when I was on Fred's show, the Jizzle wasn't lying when he said, "Who's your A&R? A mountain climber that plays a electric guitar who don't know shit about about the streets. You some white boy from Idaho or something. But you sitting up telling me, a dude who grew up in the hood and who grew up in Oakland, oh, what people want to hear." It's an audience for everything. And that's the problem. They suppressed all the shit that talked about going to school, getting an education. They was like, oh, people don't want to hear that. Well, actually, people did, but you didn't. You took away our choice. So that's pretty much it, man. As far as Cardi B go, like I said, a lot of people don't like Cardi B for various different reasons. They just don't like her. So this, it is what it is, though. Let me know what you think. This your boy Town Biz. I am